Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Sex with Emily. Tonight's show is in honor of Halloween, and we're talking about some of the scariest, freakiest situations you might find yourself in and what to do about them. But first, I gotta tell you, I love my No Pro. You've heard me talk about it in recent weeks. I'm actually going to Mexico tomorrow, so I even love it more because it is the only way. I've tried everything. Waxing, I've tried threading, I've tried everything. It's the only way to remove unwanted hair with no pain. Zero pain. I just sit at the couch, I sit at home, wherever I am, and it's a long lasting. And it's for men too. You know, that hair on your back or your neck. You're like, what do I do? How do I get rid of it? Legs, arms, face. No matter where you want to use it, you can use it. Weeks of long lasting results. Go to nonoemily.com. That's nonoemily.com. Plus, you get 100% 60-day money-back guarantee. And you probably won't return it because you're going to friggin' love it like I do. And when you purchase it, you also get a $50 gift card to an award-winning skincare line. Go to nonoemily.com.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily. You got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com. Because sexwithemily.com is where you're going to find all of our podcasts. You're going to sign up for our mailing list because I give really good email. I don't want to brag, but I do. And you can also subscribe because we do 2 shows a week. And you can get them on iTunes, which is so easy. Just show right up there in your iTunes, however you want to listen. So thanks, everyone, for doing that. And follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all at Sex with Emily. And I'm here with Anderson. Happy almost Halloween, Anderson.
I'm
scared.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? So, okay, we're streaming live now. So every Thursday night, this is a new thing. I love the sound effects.
It's a song. It's called Halloween by John Carpenter.
All right, I need
John
that.
Carpenter.
Not really, but... okay, so 8:30 to 9:30 Pacific Standard Time every Thursday night. If you go to sexwithemily.com, you can actually watch our Thursday night show and listen and streaming. And you can also call in 1-800-LOVE-191 if you got a question. So that is pretty friggin' exciting. And I want to say... Okay,
everyone can come over and see your slutty costume.
I'm wearing a slutty costume. I am I'm an Orgasm Fairy.
Are you really wearing a costume?
I am wearing a costume.
I was making a joke.
No, I really am wearing a costume. But I didn't really put... It's hard to wear the tiara.
Oh, okay, so does that complete the costume then?
No, I've got a okay, everyone should go to my website. You should go to sexwithemily.com or my Instagram, which is sexwithemily, and you can see the pictures of me being an Orgasm Fairy because I have a tutu and I have a my magic wand. My vibrator is my magic wand, and I'm going to be sprinkling samples of lube everywhere for people.
Were you doing that at the office today?
Yes.
I'm picturing just like a trail of people slipping and sliding and falling behind you.
I was in a lube wrestling match once. That's not a bad idea to recreate that. Yeah. No, I just got dressed for you.
I like it. And everyone who's watching.
But the tiara thing, which I love.
We can imagine.
You can imagine it. Okay, so here's the thing about Halloween. You know how it's like the one night of the year that every woman's like, oh, I can dress really slutty. And then they're like, I can dress like in all the sexy ways that I want to, and I'm going to feel really, hot. I'm going to wear like fishnets and do all these crazy things. And I just don't understand why because women are like, oh, I can't be judged. I can adopt another personality. And like a lot of women are judged by men and women any other time of year if they dress like super slutty or sexy. They're worried they won't be respected, right? Like they're like, oh, if I came to work as an orgasm fairy, okay, that's not a bad example.
Not you.
Okay, but if you came to work, okay, who else is a good example? Anyone came to work as an orgasm factory. I'm glad you brought Tara Patrick up. We'll get to that in a moment. She was supposed to be our guest tonight, but she's actually here in spirit. We're going to show you that in a minute. They berate themselves because they berate themselves and others do because they're dressed up sexy and they're provocative. But I feel like a lot of that is just slut shaming, and people are thinking like, God, women are so slutty. And here's the thing. Women feel so great on that day and men love it. And I don't understand why it's the only day of the year. I'm not saying we should all walk around in costumes, although that's what happens in San Francisco practically every day. Every weekend there's like a costume thing. But why not wear something that makes you feel sexy all the time? Whether it's lingerie, and whether it's, just whatever it is that makes you feel sexy. Because, as I always say, one of the biggest killers of women's sex drive is that they don't feel sexy. So why are they waiting for this one day of the year where they're like, I'm going to go all out, but otherwise, I'm just going to wear my button-up suit, And I think that women should choose to embrace their own sexiness right now. And here's another thing. I always talk about role-playing being something that couples can do. And people laugh. They're like, oh, yeah. Like if my girlfriend came over and she tried to arrest me as a sexy cop, I'd laugh in her face. But here's the thing. Your sex life gets a little, it gets stale after a while. You're in a relationship for a while. You live together. Sex becomes kind of routine. So I constantly suggest things on the show that you can do to spice it up. And I've done shows on role-playing in the past. But this really made me think about the fact that I wanted to explain a little more to you. Sure, you might giggle at first. But if you can really get into another role and pretend that you're someone else. So whatever scenario, I don't care if you do the doctor, nurse, the schoolgirl getting a spanking from whatever turns you on. You meet at a bar, your partner's the stranger. It's kind of like having a one-night stand all over again if you can get into that mindset. Because when we were little, we used to play imagination, right? Didn't you? Play imagination? Or you do things with your imagination? What?
Yeah, I know, but you're talking about role-playing and sex and one-night stands.
No. What I'm saying is people think, oh, I can't look at my partner like a slutty nurse because it's my wife or it's whatever. But if you get over that part of thinking that it's so silly and you get into, like, we know in Halloween, when you dress up as a costume, you sometimes used to get into it.
You go with it. Yeah, you actually become the part.
You become the part.
You hear the actors say that a lot, too. It's like, as soon as I put on the mustache, I became that character.
Right. So if you put on your sexiest outfit or whatever it is that makes you feel sexy, it could be a crayon. When I was in college, I wore as a crayon one.
You were pink,
sexy.
though, right?
And I was red. I literally wore a cone on my head. It was not hot at all. I was a crayon. But if that didn't make me feel sexy because people weren't wearing
very phallic.
It was phallic. You're right. It's like a premonition for things to come. It was foreshadowing. But whatever it is, couples get together and try it. And for one night, women love dressing up. A lot of them. Men like it. Right? Isn't it fun when your wife dresses up? So you won't tell me anything about your relationship. I know. But guys go crazy for it. Women like it. And I'm just saying role-playing is kind of a fun thing to do. It doesn't have to be you have to plan it all out. You can just put on whatever it is that makes you feel sexy. And when your partner comes home, you can talk about it and pretend he's a stranger, like breaking into your house, and then have sex.
Breaking in.
Or
what if there's
delivering a pizza.
Worst case scenario, though, is you set it all up, and then he's late, and there actually is a break-in, and you think it's just your husband, playing a part. That's bad times.
That is bad times. It's like a movie.
There'd be a lot of things would have to fall in place for that.
Exactly. Like, what are the chances that's going to happen, right? But anyway, role play, and I've done it. It's kind of fun once you get over the weirdness part.
What was your role play? What'd you do?
I've done the slutty schoolgirl. Nothing too original. I'm trying to think.
I was bad.
I was a bad girl.
I need to be
spanked my ass.
4 + 3 is 9. I got that wrong.
I've done everything. I mean, even just in talk, I've done the talking role playing.
I can see that. You're a very creative type, and I
am a creative type. And sex is the one thing we've got to get creative. Everyone has to get creative because it's boring after a while.
Are you going to West Hollywood for Halloween?
I'm going to Mexico.
Oh, that's
Halloween.
right. It's a good thing because if you dress up like an orgasm fairy, there's a lot of competition in those parts.
I know. I saw
A lot of orgasm fairies. Is that wrong? Is that homophobic to say?
What?
Orgasm fairies? Because there's a
because
bunch.
they're fairies?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's LA, whatever. California. People don't care. No, are you going to West Hollywood? I don't.
No,
believe
I'm
that
trying to
you'll
talk
be.
my mom out of going because she's supposed to be going.
Has she ever gone?
She went
before?
last year. Yeah, she loved it.
Really? It's
Yeah.
kind of a fun thing. It's like I used to go to the Castro in San Francisco. You do it once or twice.
I went one year. There's nowhere to pee.
There is nowhere to pee, but you're a dude. You can pee on the wall. You can pee anywhere.
Yeah, I know, but as soon as I unzip the pants, I'm afraid that
You can get
I'm just
arrested.
I'm just gonna, yeah.
I never know where to pee.
No, I'm
and I
afraid that I'm
always pee.
immediately going to start getting oral from some random guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, in West Hollywood.
Yeah, and then I'd be cheating, and I don't want that to happen. Another dumb homophobic thing that I said. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. People won't be that offended. Okay, so here's the other thing I have to talk about. Speaking of West Hollywood,
WeHo.
I'm doing an event called Beyond the Bedroom at the Body Well in West Hollywood, November 5th at 7:30 p.m. with Connor Habib and Chris Donahue. He's a doctor. Connor is a male porn star genius writer, and it's all about what your which sounds kind of funny, I know, and he's hot. What your doctor can't and won't tell you about sex. So it's all about what it means to be sexually healthy outside the bedroom, and it's like donations of like $10, $20, and yeah, you can check it out on my website, or I don't know where else. It's on my website now, I think. Also, I'm giving away tickets to the Sexual Health Expo because it's going to be really fun. It's 2 days, January 17th and 18th in Los Angeles. Only conference of its kind. It is 2 days of sex education, but that sounds so boring. It's like my show, but fun. Like sex education. Like if I said my show is about sex education only, you'd like roll your eyes. But I think it's entertaining. I'd like to think I'm entertaining. And these are some of the top sex educators in the world. Workshops for 2 days, parties, award show, the latest and greatest toys. I'm giving away 25 tickets. And if you want a ticket, email me, feedback@sexwithelmy.com, and tell me why you want to go.
Sex education for adults.
Yeah.
Because when you think sex education, you think of like, your fat math teacher who has to give you like a little lecture on the birds and the bees because she's mandated by law. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
But this is sex education by sexy people.
Exactly.
For adults.
And it's interesting that you brought that up because actually what we're going to get into in a moment, because I actually have something very, very depressing to tell you about sex education in America. But this show is going to be about those freaky, weird situations that you get into sexually and you don't know quite what to do about them. And we'll also be reading your emails because I love hearing from you at feedback@sexwithelmy.com. And we really are going to get better at, because like a lot of times we read people's emails and we haven't always been great at letting them know that we read them but now we have a system, so you'll actually know the episode that we read them. I mean, I'm
That's pretty
assuming
cool.
that you all listen to every single episode. But if you don't, we're going to email you and say, hey, buddy, I answered your question about your small penis or your large penis, as it were. So here's this abysmal thing. Ready? Get ready to be horrified at what schools are telling kids about sex.
Storks.
Millions of kids are sitting in classrooms this school year where they could be taught inaccuracies about HIV and sex. It's clear we're doing it wrong. I don't know about you, but I think we owe it to the kids to tell them the truth. So here's the thing. They can only teach abstinence. If you look at this map in the world, it's in America, it shows that it's only probably about 6 or 7 states actually it's mandatory. The other states, it's like abstinence. They can't talk about masturbation. I mean, it's abysmal. And it really is. Kids are learning nothing. And all they're learning is abstinence, first of all, which is stupid. They're not learning about masturbation, which I wish all I needed was 5 minutes on masturbation, and I would have masturbated way earlier because it didn't occur to me. And if you tell kids
that does not compute.
I know.
That it didn't
How did
occur
I
to
not
you.
know? It just didn't occur to me.
I think you slipped on the edge of the bed one night.
I wish
by
I was one of
mistake,
those
you know what I
girls. Like those girls were like, I rode my bike and I had an orgasm.
Ooh, yeah.
I was climbing the rope in the gym. Never happened.
Did you climb ropes and ride
I
bikes?
did everything.
I would think that
I
maybe
rode horses.
Or you're putting on the crayon. You might put it on upside
No,
down by mistake.
I didn't know about masturbation. So it's really scary. And the scariest part is that so many kids are learning through porn. And they're thinking, oh, that's how I should do it. I should spank her ass, have anal sex, and hopefully she'll squirt on my face. That's
Or
what they're
he'll
thinking.
squirt on her. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And all girls love the jackhammer.
Yeah. And they don't love the jackhammer. And it's also just so many men lately, it's funny, have told me that are in their 30s and 40s dating 20-somethings. And they've said to me, several of them, it's funny, all these girls I date, they kind of have sex like porn stars. They're acting like porn stars, but I don't really believe it. It's like they're making the noises and the moving like that, but you know that women in their 20s, a lot of them, unless you listen to my show, don't really know what feels good to them. So they're all having, because that's how everyone's learning.
Yeah, this is a really scary point that you're bringing up, which is like they're going to learn from these horrific images and videos.
Because they won't teach it in schools. You got to see these maps. You know what? I'm going to put this on my website because you can't imagine. It breaks it down by like which states will let you talk about HIV, which ones won't, which states only abstinence. And it's, remember like when Joycelyn Elders was fired because she mentioned masturbation? Like,
yeah,
during the administration?
she was the Surgeon General for maybe a few weeks
crazy.
Or something.
And whenever I have masturbation episodes that say masturbation on iTunes like blocks it out. It's like M***. Like it's like a bad word.
Now, to play devil's advocate, even if they did teach it in school,
right?
I know that 12-year-old Anderson would choose to learn from the porn. I'd rather see James Dean teach me about porn and Tara Patrick than say Mrs. Labarth, my fourth grade math teacher. You know what I mean? I'm gonna probably pick the porn anyways, but there should be a choice at least.
Well, you can use the porn to like jack off and stuff, but that's not how you should be learning. There's such a better way to do it. I feel like I want to create, and this is on my list.
You should go.
No, I want to do. First of all, I want to go to college campuses. So if anyone wants to support me in that, I should start like a Kickstarter campaign.
No, I think you should start like grade 6.
Yeah, that's exactly when.
Absolutely.
People are so confused, So anyway, and talk to your kids about sex. Parents don't know what the hell to do, so the whole thing's a mess. But besides that, also I wanted to tell you that. That's what I'll tell you. Okay, so that was the Sex and the News story that I kind of moved into. But here's another one. Do you remember last week's show we talked about euphemisms for vagina that no one understands? So I admitted it on the last show, and it was really hard for me as a sex educator that I just don't like the word vagina. I don't like it. I don't like it, and there's not like a better word for it. Do you like the word vagina? How's your vagina? It's
a little
just
clinical.
Buzzkill.
A little clinical.
It is, but penis doesn't bother me. I just don't like the vagina. Like, there's certain words like moist. Like, I don't like the word moist.
There's nothing wrong with the
How
word
moist vagina.
I like the fact that your mouth has to be moist to be able to say moist.
But here's some euphemisms.
You can't say moist with a dry mouth.
Moist.
Moist. Yeah.
I need some water.
All right, so what are you going to call it? Your cookie?
I'm going to tell you some euphemisms, and then we're going to vote. Me and you and the listeners. And if anyone's listening, you can call in. I'm watching 1-800-LOVE-191. We'll see how this goes. Oh, and also, if you missed this and you're listening to the podcast, because it's also a podcast, you can watch the video on our site. So this becomes a video podcast, which is very exciting. Okay, ready? There are so many pet names for vagina. It's often hard to know. I can't avoid it. It's often hard to know if a woman is talking about her vulva or her miniature poodle. Here are some other popular nicknames that confuse us every damn time. Okay, Poonie.
Nope.
Or My Little Pony Enthusiast. Is it your private area? Or, okay, Chachi. Private area or 1980s sitcom spin-off star. These are true. Muffin. I call my nieces my little muffins. Is that bad?
Oh, that's real bad if you're thinking
well,
that.
I didn't know. Is it a delicious baked good or is it your vagina?
Or is it your nieces?
I'm like my muffin top. I call them muffin tops.
Might
Is
be
that
worse.
Okay, princess parts. Private area or Halloween costume accessories. Front bottom. Private area or oxymoron for morons. Front bottom. I'm
missing something.
Okay, pea pod. Private area or salad bar offering. Pea pod. Who says this? Woo woo? Like, I think that parents say this
I've heard
to
of
kids.
hoo-ha.
That's not even on here.
What about gash? I hope that's not on there. I hate that.
Ew.
Yeah, worse than moist, huh?
You know what else I hate? What does Oprah say? I hate what she says.
Vajayjay!
Oh, vajayjay. That friggin' bothers me. Don't say vajayjay. I guess you just gotta say vagina. And when I was in sex school, they were like, you have to say vulva because it's technically the vulva.
But that's not no.
No, it is. The vagina is the vulva. Like that's technically.
I thought the vulva was
vagina's
a part of the
vagina,
vagina.
No, it's the vulva, and the vagina is part of the vulva, but no one says vulva. So when I say vulva, and they get mad at me. Oh, do you remember that? Oh,
Seinfeld.
I have a really good Seinfeld reference coming up in a minute. However, we can do another one. When he was dating a girl that rhymed with a body part and
yes.
he couldn't remember the body part, and he was like,
was guessing.
He was guessing the whole show, and he's like, "Is it like mulva because it rhymes with vulva?" And then finally at the end, he's like, "Dolores." That's a good one.
It rhymes with Maloris,
clitoris,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, clitoris.
That's a good one. Okay, then we got vajayjay, a canoe. Look for the little man in the canoe, right,
Nope.
Anderson?
Yeah, I've heard that. But to talk about the vagina as a canoe?
And then a punani. Punani.
Punani.
Okay, I'm
I
done
think you
with
have to be
this.
black to say punani.
I'm over this. Yeah? Okay. Am I going to get in trouble?
Cookie.
Oh, listen to this one. Cookie?
What about baby maker? That's really not
Ew,
good. Yeah.
no. That's so depressing. That's like, no, that's bad because so many people are paranoid about getting pregnant all the time.
You didn't have
you know
pussy
what else?
on there. You didn't have twat.
Well, that's obvious.
Okay.
Okay, here's another thing. You know when people call semen baby batter? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
That's disgusting too.
It's kind of spot on, though.
Well, it is, but I don't want to hear it talked about like that. I'd rather say come. I want your baby batter in my face. Like, that's gross.
I want you to come in your face. It's pretty bad, too.
Yeah, but that's better than baby batter. Just brings the mood down. Changes everything. Okay. Man who met creepy woman online later found her stuck in his chimney.
Oh, I heard about this.
How crazy is this? So he was dating this woman, and he went on 6 dates with her. He met her online. And we did talk about online dating last week, some tips. He obviously didn't listen. It got pretty creepy pretty quickly. At around 5 a.m., he realized someone had tried to enter his home through the chimney, but luckily became stuck about 8 feet from the top. Which is like Santa or something. The Santa wannabe was actually someone the homeowner had gone on a few dates with recently. I wonder if illegal entry was part of her interests. So it's unclear what this woman's intention was, but the homeowner didn't appreciate it, called 911, and it was a horror because she was actually stuck in there for 2 hours. And they had to like take apart the entire chimney, and they arrested her. And so basically the point is, all you people, if you date someone online, first of all, don't invite them to your house and don't tell me where you live after the first few dates. You really shouldn't. I don't think you should come over.
I know idiots that
people are so dumb.
meet people on Tinder and just have them come to their house and pick them up.
You guys are idiots. Don't
crazy,
do that.
Right?
They're going to kill you.
You think they give her like 2 hours of time served for her time spent in the...
What is it? How much they give her? It says, I don't know. After we checked the chimney, she was arrested for illegally entering a residence and providing false information to a peace officer. The victim gave a few words about the dangers of online dating. This is the best part. He said, this is the victim. Before you have somebody come in your house, really check them out. Really give it some time before you let somebody in because they may want to stay. And then he looks at the camera and he's like, you're welcome. He's like, I'm so glad no one else is going to see this woman. He's like, you're welcome. Because it was on the news. I saw the news.
How did he discover it? Did he
he
see
heard her like he heard her in his chimney.
Were her feet visible?
No,
out
she
top?
was like stuck.
Out the top?
I mean, couldn't you like die like that? What an idiot though.
I mean, if he really disliked this woman, he had every right in the world to just like, unbeknownst to him, I didn't know she was in there when I lit the fire and left the
I don't
room.
think she had a fire. Oh my, he could have killed her.
He could have killed
her. But that it's like gives a whole new meaning to the word. I'm like dropping by. I'm just going to drop by. It's funny.
I bet you would have no problem going down a chimney. You'd make it down.
Oh, because my body.
Because you're quite small in stature.
I can make it into small little spaces that other people can't. It's one of my skills. But it's not chimneys. I don't want to go in chimneys. But I feel like, you know what the lesson here is, that people show you who they are. And the issues you have on the third date, you'll likely have forever. And you might disagree with me, but think about the person you're with. And I'm not saying that you're going to break up with them. It's the person you married, perhaps. But whatever it was that kind of, I don't know, kind of bugged me about this person, it's not going to go away. Like, you could be there 30 years, but you knew it on the third date. So this guy knew she was psychotic on the third date. And it says that he went on 6 dates with her, actually. So he knew crazy. But guys like crazy. So I just wish that everyone dating, like, I wish that there was some kind of way. They used to have these sites, like bad boyfriend sites. Have you heard this?
They don't have them anymore.
I don't know. They might. But it's like Yelp for boyfriends or girlfriends, and you could review them. But you know people would be angry. And there's going
to be a lot of probably misinformation on there.
Yeah. Like all my ex-boyfriends would hate. No, I'm friends with them all. But after the breakup, they might be angry. You know, and say mean things.
Yeah, they're bitter. They're
scorned. People came with a manual. I just feel like we've all done so much dating, and what's so wrong with like lining up all the person's exes? It would save you so much time, and just be like, really, like, tell me what the deal is with him, her.
That would actually be. Why don't you stop talking about it?
I know. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's too good an
Cut
idea.
That.
You
I
gave
don't
it away.
Want to take it. I know it's a brilliant idea. Okay, we're gonna move into some spooky sex situations. Anderson, have you ever had a spooky, like when I ask you about like a spooky, freaky, weird sex situation? Have you ever had one?
Yeah.
What happened?
I've had a number.
What happened?
Okay, I was wearing a trench coat because that's what I did in 8th grade, right? And
8th grade spooky? Yeah. Okay.
And this one girl, we don't name names. She had a boy's name, though. Crazy as all hell.
Samantha. Sam?
Nope, don't name names.
Okay.
And I was actually in a closet hiding from her. We were at a party because somebody's parents were out of town,
Right.
like one of those. And she was told that I was in the closet, so she went in there, was on top of my trench coat, so I was trapped. I could not get up or out. And she molested me. Yeah.
What do you mean she molested you? She opened your
she
jacket?
did things. Oh, she did lots of stuff to me. Yeah. And I was trying to get out. By the time I got
Where
out,
were
there was
you?
bite
Where
marks
were
all
you?
over my
I'm
neck.
sorry. Where were you exactly?
I was in Araby. Oh, no. The Araby was the girl whose house it was.
Okay,
and
got
I
it.
was in her closet hiding.
you were only wearing
and I
a
was
trench
a little
coat?
drunk. We were all a little bit drunk.
In 8th grade?
Yeah.
And you were only
A lot
wearing a
of it.
trench coat?
No, I was wearing a trench coat and clothes underneath it. But
got it.
so the trench coat, kind of like a cape, will fuck you up if you're a superhero, for
right.
real. Like, it'll get caught and stuff, like
Right.
they talked about in The Incredibles. And the trench coat was acting like she was on top of it, and I couldn't get out of it. It was like a straitjacket almost. And she was doing all sorts of stuff to my face and, like, biting
Kissing?
me and kissing and grabbing me and, like, putting her nipples in my mouth. Weird stuff.
In 8th grade?
Yeah.
Where'd
and
you go
and
to
I didn't
high
like this
school?
girl.
Oh, my God.
She was kind of cute, too, but I had lots of issues, lots of problems.
So aggressive in 8th grade.
Yeah, it almost
Did
turned me
she
the
pull
other
your
way.
pants down?
She was going down there. And the weirdest thing, I was
You're
turned
the
off
only
and
boy in 8th grade, P.S.
turned
that
off?
would not be psyched. Yeah.
turned off and scared, yet still aroused, which is more fucked up than anything, right?
I think that's really...
but when
Oh,
I got
no.
out, everyone was laughing, and I had like bite marks and like actually blood on my neck.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
That's really
And I was like
scary.
cool for it. Like everyone thought I was cool for it, but it freaked me out.
You could arrest her. Did you tell anyone? Like in 8th grade, you spread rumors like that.
Yeah, a lot of people. She didn't go to my school, luckily. But actually, no, she got kicked out, so she could come to my school. She was a crazy bitch.
She's psycho.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your scary story. All right, I'm trying to think if I have my scariest story. It's funny because I didn't even pre-think of this. It'll come to me as I go through these. I'm sure I have one for each category. So the first one is inappropriate or unusual dirty talk. What do you do in those situations? And here's my Seinfeld reference number 2. Do you remember this episode?
Go on.
He's with this woman, and she wants him to talk dirty, and she doesn't really know what to do. And this is the scene that they're like in it, and she's like,
Is it George or Jerry?
"It's Jerry," and he's with this woman, and she's like, "Talk dirty to me." He's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I don't know, say something." Like, and he starts getting dressed. He's like, "Oh, your panties. Are those the panties that your mother laid out for you?" And then she's like, "Ew, gross. Why are you talking about my mom?" And she like ran out. So then the next day, like he and George are at the deli, and he's like, "I just said the panties." Like, why would you say your
What?
mother?
No good?
You can't bring
No
the mother.
good?
You can't bring the mother into it. Who wants to talk about their mother when they're talking dirty? So some dirty talk mistakes, because I love dirty talk, and I feel like a lot of people would like it if they got over their hump.
Adam Carolla. That was a good one, by the way, the hump. Carolla, like, he was dating a girl once, the story that he told back on Loveline way back in the day. And she's like, say something awful, say something bad to me. He's like, your mother's a bitch. That's
Is that
pretty
what he
funny.
said during sex?
Yeah, because he was trying to, say something bad.
Right, that's hilarious. And then did she get mad?
Yeah, she didn't like it.
That's another thing. You don't say that. That's funny for Adam Carolla. Okay, so I'm trying to think if anyone ever said. No, I don't get offended. I'm pretty good.
You are kind of unoffendable, huh?
I kind of am unoffendable.
I like that in you.
I know.
That's good.
You
It's
can
a
get
good
mad
trait.
at me. You can call me crazy on
Good
your
trait.
show. And I don't get mad. Thanks. Okay, so dirty talk mistakes. Too much too soon. So if you go from 0 to like downright nasty in
Yeah,
the first round.
those girls are creepy.
No, or guys. You know, you got to
Really?
start slow and don't go out of character, like too much swearing, all that stuff. Yeah. You think girls do more less escalation of dirty talk than men? Just you had this bad experience 8th grade. Well, that wasn't even dirty talk.
Well, I'm thinking of this one girl. She's like really meek and quiet, and then as soon as like we kissed a little bit, she's like turned into this totally different person and started going, "I know, baby. That's right, baby. Kiss me again, baby." Like she became somebody else.
Right,
It was
it's like
really
a porn
horrifying.
star. She'd be like probably heard that on like in a porn or something. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk dirty, but the first time you're with someone, kind of feel it out. Some people might have some moral opposition to it or something. Also, being too vague. You don't want to be like, "Oh, that feels so good. Oh, that feels so good." The key to dirty talk is you want to be descriptive. So you want to say something like, "Oh, that feels so good." Isn't how does like your hands feel so hot on my ass? Something like that. Isn't that much better than?
Now, what if you weren't talking about the ass? What if you were talking about the front part?
You mean the pea pod?
Peapod doesn't work. You can't say peapod because pee comes out of there, so it's like
No, what were the other words for it? How about
vagine.
How about I want you to F my
Pee.
No, I'm looking for the good one. My punani, or my vajayjay.
It sounds like a Hawaiian's aunt or something, a punani.
I know, it's bad. But people do mess up dirty talk, so you know what I'm saying? Too much too soon, being too vague. The easiest thing to remember is just to be descriptive. And we've done shows on this before, too. And do you all know that if you're, like, listening to this and you're like, I don't want this, that I've got hundreds of episodes that you can just look for on iTunes, and you're like, oh, I want to learn more about dirty talk. But also another thing is don't memorize lines from porn like your chick did. Oh, baby, oh, baby. Like, I know what you mean. I've been with guys where I'm like, you probably call everyone baby. Or like when you get prematurely babed.
It works, actually, if you're dating like 2 or 3 girls and you're afraid of using the wrong name.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you just call everyone hun or babe.
How soon do you babe them, though? Like, how soon
never
do you
babe them. You can't babe them because you can't say babe. It's just like, ew.
Can you say honey?
Honey, yeah. Sweetie. Thanks, darling. I had a girl, like, I don't think I ever used her name in like 3 years. I just always called her.
You didn't know her name?
No, I knew her name. I just called her different things, though, you know?
Like nicknames?
Not her name. Yeah, I didn't like her name.
What was it? Oh.
Mulva.
It's funny because I had this guy, I was going on a first date. I was set up with him in San Francisco, and he rings my doorbell, and I had like a speaker, you know, who's there? He's like, hey, babe, I'm downstairs. And I was like, I've never met you. I've never seen you.
Oh, it was a blind date and he called you babe?
Date. He way prematurely babed me. I was already like, I'm over this date before it started.
Maybe the poor guy. He's probably trying to be extra casual. He was probably really nervous and
guys
he was overcompensating.
Guys do that all the time. Like guys have this nervous yawn thing they do, which is so obvious. Have you don't know it because you're a guy, but they like when they're nervous around a girl, they're like, oh, these are good. Like the nervous yawn. It's funny, and then they prematurely baby up. So don't do that. Don't memorize lines from porn. Don't memorize lines from porn. And yeah, first time you're having sex, don't bust out all your dirty talk. Like I said, just take it slow. And also talking too much during sex, like too much dirty talk might be a distraction for someone. Like
I would definitely be turned off by too much.
Right? And you're like, I'm trying to focus here or whatever. But a little bit of dirty talk. And there was a quote I read last week from someone, not the Ron Jeremy one, which was really interesting that he said that he's given more women orgasms with his mouth than his penis. But there was a quote last week about women having more orgasms when they're using lube and they're having sex or guys like going down on them or fingering them or something, and the guy talks dirty to him. She goes off like that. Climax.
A lot of women do that?
A lot of women.
That's weird.
Because it's our brain. We want to hear the word. That's why I always dated writers.
What words, though? Because you guys all hate the P word, but I don't. The
Cock.
pussy word.
Pussy?
The pussy word, but like that's really the only one that works in that
pussy's
situation.
fine during dirty talk.
Yeah, during
it's
dirty
not?
talk, right? Is it?
Yeah, pussy's fine during dirty talk.
All
no?
right. Okay.
I think. I mean,
I think it's so bad that it's good.
Person.
You know what I mean? Maybe because just no other word really fits in there when you're actually doing dirty talk.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Oh yeah, that feels so good in my vagina.
Ew. I don't say vagina. Here's
my
the other
pink parts.
Yeah, my woo-ha. My hoo-ha. What were some of these? The poonie. Oh, baby, I want to F your poonie. Okay, when I come back, I'm going to tell you the next creepy, scary, freaky, weird thing that happens in bed and what to do about it. But first, a word from my amazing sponsors. If I seem really, really clear, focused, calm, and sort of healthy right now, it is because I am on this de-herb cleanse. And I was just feeling really tired. I needed a reset button on my body. And I've just been feeling super sluggish. And then I heard of de-herbs. So it's a new cleanse. You do it for 20 days. And you can totally eat when you're on the cleanse. And they just send you these bottles of pills. The one that I'm taking is the full body cleanse, which turns out to be the #1 selling cleanse online over the past 10 years. I'm so glad it's not like that crazy concoction of like lemon juice and cayenne pepper, which I tried that once and it does not work. You're just friggin' starving and you will never have a lemon again. So now I've got my entire team doing it. We're all doing the de-herbs cleanse at the office because I'm like, I can't do this alone. And it's really, really fun. And over the next few weeks, you're going to start hearing the results. But this is just my first week. And I have to say, I do feel more energy. I'm waking up earlier. I'm more focused during meditation and during everything. I'm able to write more. And I just feel happier. Don't I seem happy? And it only takes 20 days to flush out the toxins. You'll be done before you know it. You can get clean and lean in 2014 with the de-herbs full body cleanse. So go to deherbs.com. That's the letter D, herbs or herbs if you live abroad. And type in promo code Emily and you get a discount today for my listeners. That's deherbs.com. 4DHerbs.com or call them 866-4DHerbs. And let me just tell you one thing about this is that this is the thing that freaked me about it. Even you could be weighed down by up to 25 pounds of toxic waste cooped up in your vital organs that you know about, and get rid of all of it. It gets rid of all of it. So you call them. They got friendly people, and they will help you out. So also, guess what's next? So we were supposed to have Tara Patrick on the show tonight. She's a porn star. But since Tara couldn't be here, she makes a fleshlight of her vagina. She had to get it molded.
Or what?
It's her vagina. But, so I have her right here on the mic. Look at her. Can you see?
That's, her mouth is the wrong way.
No, it's not. And she's got
it's like a sideways smile.
on. And this is what Tara Patrick's vagina. So she can't be here. And actually, this might be better than her being here because you actually get to see her vagina.
Right. You want to be able to see that if she wasn't here.
No.
She got some labes on her.
She does. She's outer labes.
Those labes are flapping in the wind.
What do you think about them? Those labes. Are you
I get worried with the labes sometimes. I'm afraid I'm going to tear them. You know what I mean?
Well, nothing wrong with labes.
If the lube kind of dries up, you could rip and tear the labes.
This is a fleshlight, everyone, of her vagina. So, she went off mic. Sorry, Tara.
Yeah, get her headphones back on.
She's been really quiet, too. I don't think she has much to say. I'm kidding. She's awesome. So, here's her vagina. And here's the thing. Fleshlight, #1 sex toy for men. And it's probably the only one you want because, women, we've got so many. I love that we're on camera now because I'm like, okay, I've got the rabbit. I've got all these toys. Men have one sex toy, and you have your hand. And I understand that you're all saying, yeah, my hand feels great. Why the hell do I need anything else? It's a pain in the ass. Well, what if I told you that you could use this masturbation sleeve like Tara Patrick? They make them in porn stars. Not all of them are porn star vaginas, but they can be. And it simulates a feeling of real sex. So you actually feel like you're having sex, and it can feel even better than sex. I don't know what kind of sex you're having, but that's what they say. It's a different experience. They have the stamina training unit by Fleshlight, which also helps you last longer in bed, body-safe materials, and every woman has a vibrator, so every man should have one of these. So here's a new deal for my listeners. Fleshlight, what would be a Fleshlight without a lube? They are throwing in their award-winning Flesh Lube. And if you go to my website, sexwithemily.com, and you click on the Fleshlight banner, you buy your Fleshlight, whatever one you want, and you put in code Emily, you will get free lube. And you know what? You can never be too rich, too thin, or have too much lube. So go to sexwithemily.com, Fleshlight banner, code Emily. Do it now. And I'm thirsty. All this lube talk. Okay, back to...
They have buttholes, too.
Oh, they do. I was with my gay friend today. And I'm only saying that because you're talking about buttholes, and he wants a Fleshlight. So we looked up his favorite male gay porn star, and so I'm going to get him one of those. Oh, but you mean butts? Oh, no, they have buttholes for men too. Sorry, Tara might have a butthole.
I don't think they have buttholes for women. Oh.
No, but for men, they have. If you're gay, they have buttholes for you.
I didn't know that I was gay. That was gay.
No.
We got a bunch in here. Like Rune was playing with them, and
if Rune would,
and but, like they had it was like a beer can, and you take off the top, and it's like a butthole.
Women make but a
and
lot.
Producer Ann made me put my finger in it, and it was uncomfortable. It got stuck.
It's funny that
it was really tight.
It got stuck. Well, that's why people like anal sex because it's tight. But they do sell women's butts and they sell male butts, whatever you're into. But it's funny that you said finger in my butt, and we didn't even plan this, Anderson, because guess what? The next freaky, scary, spooky situation that can happen in bed that kind of freaks you out.
No idea.
Finger in the behind.
What?
Dude, you're so good. So, okay, lesson number 1. Don't make any assumptions that anybody wants anything in their behind. You can't assume it. Like, you just can't just stick your finger in there, okay? So, just because your last partner really liked it, maybe you're young, you're with one partner, doesn't mean that this partner's going to like it. So, like I always say, you need permission. It's not the kind of thing where you do it and you ask for forgiveness. You actually really need permission. And you can just start to rub around that area. Use a little lube. And then if she or he pushes your hand away or says, no, then you know they're not into the anal play. But if they're like, baby, it feels so good, you can stick your finger in maybe. But don't just do it without asking because that could be freaky weird. Has a woman ever stuck her finger in your butt and it was unexpected? I'm sure she has. Anderson.
Are you talking to me?
Who else would I be talking to?
No. That's never occurred.
Okay. Well, it's occurred to
Girls have flirted with the area, and like I do the swat away. Okay,
you swat them?
Do
you swat or you just slide over on your butt?
Move away. I just change their positions. You know what I mean? So their hands are no longer accessible.
Another one, speaking of the anus, is accidental anal. Have you ever done that to a woman?
No, I'm way too large. I'm kidding. But I think that is kind of
That's
a small
awesome.
wiener phenomena. You know what I mean?
I've had it with a medium wiener, and it was like
It actually
example.
entered?
yeah, like for a second. I was like they don't. It wasn't on purpose. It was like truly accidental anal. Like we were drunk and mixed up the spots, and so that's when the guy, it's an honest accident. It's ouch. So again, pull it out. Use lube if you really want to have anal sex. But yeah, guys get confused down there. I don't know how it happened. It was scary.
I remember the first time I ever touched a butthole. I was terrified.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, she was like
Was
really
it the
attractive.
fleshlight? Or no?
No, it was an actual butt. Like, I was
Okay.
like really young, and she was really attractive, and she was really into everything. And I was like fumbling around down there, trying to like find her vagina, and I went too far, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm touching her butthole right now. And then I made up some excuse. I had to get up and leave and put
Did
on
you
my
go in her
clothes.
butthole?
No, but my finger actually touched her butthole, and I was
right.
just freaking out because it was just what?
Did she
My
jump?
finger actually touched another human being's butthole. It was just really weird.
That is weird. Did she jump out?
No, she was like into it. She was
Oh.
down to do more, and I was like a scared little kid. I'm like, what the?
I know. It's scary. Especially, the butthole just kind of shows up when you don't want it to sometimes. But here's the thing. Okay, that's just accidental anal. That just happens. That's not even that's just one of these freaky things because in honor of Halloween, that can happen in bed. Also, unusual kinky requests from your partner. So, for example, have you seen Californication, the scene where David Duchovny's with that woman and she asks that woman to punch him in the face? And they're having sex. She's like, punch me. He's like, oh my God. Okay. And then he punches her. Like, people are into some weird stuff that you might not be into. So that can happen as well. Golden showers, bondage on the first date. These are all the things that I
Carl
feel.
from work.
What?
Having Carl over from work.
What do you mean?
Having like a third dude.
Oh,
come
a
by.
threesome?
Yeah.
On the first date?
Oh, first date
I
stuff.
think I've heard it. No. Well, this is like, you're right. An unusual kinky request can happen. I was thinking the other thing.
Yeah,
It can happen anything. You don't want to force a threesome on anyone. You don't want to force anything on anyone.
Any kind of kinkiness. If the
You
other
gotta
person's not
ask
into it. You gotta ease
permission.
in.
You gotta ask permission. So there's also like bondage on the first date if someone wants to tie you up. Again, first date, I think you just kind of keep it kind of mellow. Even if I'm not saying you can't have amazing sex. And there's a lot of people who are in like the BDSM kinky world, and then you're like, okay, green light, go. This is what we do. But if you're not so sure, you should, take it slow, especially the first time. You don't want to freak anyone out. And they might be into it, but everyone's on their best behavior on the first date. Not that kink is bad, but they're just kind of having straightforward sex. So also how to deal with it. Like, what do you do if this happens? Let them know you're not sure that I'm really ready for this yet, but you'd be willing to try something maybe down the road or something that's less threatening to you right now. If it doesn't, like if he wants to pee on you, like a golden shower, you might say,
Sneeze first. We'll start with
you
sneezing.
might say, I'd rather have you throw a glass of cold water in my face or ejaculate on my face or something. I
Maybe
don't know
pee
why.
in a cup and let it
You
get to
make
warm
compromise. Sex, life, commitments, relationships, they're all about compromise. Because
Yeah.
if you're like not, because a lot of times people could throw you things out of left field and you're like, what? I don't know if I want to do this. And you got to think about it.
What do you think of that, of the one-sided fetishes?
What do you mean? Like people who are,
Well, like I always remember this love line call we had a long time ago where a girl she was in a relationship with this guy for a long, long time, and like it was their third date when he came out and put all his cards on the table and said, "Hey, look, I'm into diaper fetish." She was never into it, but she dealt with it. She went ahead with it because she loved him, and she just learned to deal.
so he always had
But
to be wearing a diaper
yeah.
when they had sex.
But she wasn't into it, but he
Right.
was.
Yeah, there's a
That's
lot of
not
that.
fair, right?
No, I mean, if you love someone and you can kind of get over it, like my friend dated like a cross-dressing sheep herder. Like he was like a sheep, he was like a man. Like she was living rural place, but he was very masculine, but he wore women's panties. And she's so chill. She's like me. She's like, okay, whatever. Like she didn't judge it, but a lot of people would freak out by that. So I think it depends who you're with. Also, if you have a fetish, like a true fetish, by definition, a fetish is something that is required for you to
You can't get
have
off
good
without
sex.
it.
You can't get off without it. So, again, if you're with someone with like an extreme fetish you can't deal with, you can never come around to it, it's not going to work. But if it's just someone who's like, oh, I kind of want to try, spanking you, you could be like, well, maybe I'd like a little tap first or whatever. There's always ways to to lessen it so it's not so extreme. Okay, another tricky, scary, freaky, weird thing that can happen sexually is embarrassing moments. This is the drunk edition. Haven't you had weird drunk sex? Oh, I think that's when my accidental anal happened, that we were drunk.
Well, you said that, yeah.
I did say that. Okay, scary moment if he's drunk and can't get it up. What? I said that already. I'm
I
repeating
just can't
myself.
believe that he was capable of.
It was the second, and I don't think he knew.
Were you guys getting really crazy that night? Was it an
No,
empty wine
no.
bottle beforehand?
No,
so it
I
was
mean, I don't
loosened up?
remember. Actually, no. It was a total mistake. It was like we hadn't even been together that long. Like we were dating for like maybe like a month or two. And it was long distance.
I bet you it's like 80% chance it was a mistake.
And he was so drunk that 100%. Like he didn't even remember it. For real, I know him. Like to this day, you wouldn't remember it. I don't think I even ever told him until now. I should tell him. We're still friends. He would laugh. But I'm like, is he into this? And I just like moved. But anyway, it was a bad experience. Okay, drunk sex though. So sometimes people are like liquid courage, and you know that sometimes you drink and it like can help you last longer. But if you go over the line and you drink too much, whiskey dick. It's called whiskey dick for a reason.
Whiskey dick,
right? And then there's all these guys who are like whiskey dick and then taking Viagra or doing
that's good for the heart.
Viagra. Dudes, just stop with just lessen your amount of alcohol. It's not a big deal unless he's an alcoholic, and then it always happens, and that's a problem. But every once in a while. What are you laughing at?
I'm just picturing the guy. I like to cut my whiskey with a little Viagra.
You don't know how many guys I know that are like take drugs or do whatever, and they're like out like partying. And
I've partied with those guys, and it's like they do blow all night, but they can't do
do
blow unless they got
night.
tons of booze. They like to cut their booze with the coke.
Yeah, and then they do
the blue pill, and they're like strong like bull.
It's gross.
Yeah, I haven't hung out with those guys in a while. I miss them now.
It's yeah, good time. So I would say it's not a big deal, and if you can't get hard, just go to sleep and have amazing hangover sex in the morning.
What is that like? Hangover sex.
Do you know that a lot of men, more than women, really love hangover sex? Like it makes them feel better to have sex. Do you don't like having sex when you're hungover?
I mean, I've been so hungover where like I'm just desperate to get out of the hole, and maybe I'll go out myself just to try and get at least some temporary pain. Yeah. But I want to be able to do it with another person there. I don't think.
No, you couldn't have sex with your wife when you're hungover.
Yeah, she wouldn't allow it. First of all,
why?
She'd be like, ew, you smell like booze.
Oh, I hate when guys smell like booze in the morning. That's the worst.
You smell like an old homeless person. Get off me.
Yeah, no, she's right. It's kind of gross. So that's when you're drunk that can happen. Okay. Also, you might not be able to. What else can happen when you're drunk? I guess just like women. Like
anything.
I'm trying to think what I've ever done drunk. I don't get that drunk. I don't get drunk enough for.
What were we
crazy
going to say? Women. Women always turn into lesbians when they're drunk.
No. Women are always lesbians. They're on the spectrum and they just have the liquid courage. No, they're not lesbians. I'm not saying that every woman's a lesbian. I'm saying if you look at like the Kinsey spectrum.
It makes sense. You guys are the attractive
women
of the two sexes.
They're more open to it, and a lot of women want to try it. But there's a lot of women who are like, hell no way. But you get a little drunk, a little whatever. You might try
lose your inhibitions.
Yeah, you lose your inhibitions, which is why people drink, because you can like go hit on that girl at the bar, but then by that time you're too drunk and she doesn't want to talk to you. So just like learn to temper it out. Another drunk thing girls might do is I just thought of this call in Loveline. We had so many women, and I had my best friend in college did this, that she was giving a blowjob and she like threw up on his penis.
Oh, from the gag?
No, it wasn't from the gag. It was like 'cause she was like drunk.
Oh, she just got, you know what? Going up and down when you're drunk. And if you get the spins as well. Yeah.
And like all these spins. Okay, that's not a drunk thing. Okay, awkward sex injuries is the other one. Have you ever had sex wounds?
No, but a very good friend of mine who probably wouldn't appreciate me saying it, but he's already said it on our other podcast. He broke his arm fisting a girl. Broke his arm. He had to have a cast.
Come on.
Yeah. Mike Carano. We talked about it at length on the After Disaster. He doesn't like to bring it up.
Tonight?
He's not coming in because we did the show last night.
Oh, my God.
He's a giver. Okay, so he was with the girls a long time ago. He was fisting her. He was like up past his wrist.
How big?
And she loved it, so he kept going even though his arm was really hurting him. And it was hurting worse and worse and worse. But he kept going, and then...
Broke it?
Broke it. 3 days later, like it was still hurting.
Sex sent me to the ER thing? Like he had to go with his hand.
The best is that he had, no, it wasn't stuck in there. But the best is he had like a full cast for like whatever it was, like 6 weeks.
And how do you tell
people? And people are like, how'd you break your arm? And sometimes he'd tell him the truth, and sometimes he'd lie. But yeah, Mike.
No one would believe him. Can we call him right now? Like I really want to just get. Well, not one day.
He'll gladly go on the show and tell.
Oh my God, that is the most amazing thing. Like I didn't even know you could. Like, he must have just. Are you sure he broke it? Did he sprain it? Like he had broken muscles.
He had to get a.
Dude, did he break up with the girl too?
It wasn't like compound fracture or anything.
But did he break up with her?
I mean, eventually they're not together now.
Oh my God, I've never heard of anyone.
He has an actual girlfriend now, so maybe he would not like to tell this story publicly.
Oh, so
I know if I had a similar story, my wife would not be real pleased.
I'm so over you guys with girlfriends. You won't talk about your past with me. Like,
let's just get rid of all of them for the sake of Sex with Emily.
It helps. Content is king, baby. Okay, so rug burn. I had that in college. Like my friends would joke, like sex women, like having sex on the carpet.
Small of your back?
Yeah. And my friends were taking pictures of it and laughing. That's no big deal. Okay, penis injuries. Girls with their mouth that can rip your... Have you heard this? Like they rip their... Remember the open form? They rip your skin down, that woman with braces?
The frenulum?
Yeah, the frenulum or even the tip. And she ripped it all the way down. And he says,
all right.
Remember that I called these two peas two ways?
Yes.
It's not funny. How do you deal with this? It's just an awkward thing, and the best way to handle it is to laugh it off. And all this stuff that happens, just don't take it too seriously. I mean, unless you have to go to the emergency room, in which case you should take that seriously. But like weird things like that, rug burn, whatever, it's funny. You could fall off the bed. Have you ever fallen off the bed?
Oh, yeah.
And I had a friend whose wife, he was performing oral sex on her in the shower, and she had an orgasm. And she fell over and she hit her head on the shower and passed out and had to go to the hospital. She was like unconscious.
Wow.
It's quite an orgasm.
I got a terrible one that I
her.
heard.
What?
But she had the orgasm.
She had the orgasm and then she passed
It's like
out.
the guy getting a touchdown.
Oh my God. Ah!
Like leaving his feet to catch the ball and knowing that he's going to get smashed in the head. Like
Right.
she went in for the big hit.
Yeah. Amazing.
She took it for the big O.
My friend told me this was his wife. I'm like, wow, it's really impressive. Like, in a way. I mean, sad. But like, you must give a killer orgasm. You must be really good at oral sex. Okay, what's your story?
It's something I heard on Loveline when I first began, but it's so awful that I still remember it. It's a good story. It's compelling, but it's hard to hear.
Okay.
A kid called up, and he liked to beat off in a very peculiar way.
Okay.
Right? He would take the plunger and he would suction cup it to the bottom of the tub.
Okay.
And then he would lube himself up back there, and he would kind of insert it into his bum while he was playing with himself.
The
right?
plunger?
The plunger handle, because it was
Okay,
right.
I
it
get
was lodged onto the tub.
Got it. Okay.
And he'd go ride it up and down, while holding onto the shower curtain. And the shower curtain gave, and he went
punctured.
down. Yeah, he had to go to the emergency room.
How far did it go up?
Lots of like internal bleeding and whatnot.
He called in?
He called in with it afterwards, yeah, and explained the injury.
That's actually one of the worst things I've heard on Love. One of the most hardest things to hear that I've ever heard on Love Line, and I wasn't even.
I know, right? It sticks with me like 12 years later. I still remember that one.
That is bad. Oh my God.
So careful with those plungers in the shower, guys.
Dude, men. Okay, I'm always saying that men will stick their penises anywhere, but their butts too. Like they're always sticking their penises and things and get stuck and hurt, but then in their anus as well. Jesus
Not every
Christ.
guy. Come on.
Every guy. Most guys. Okay. So if someone is too hurt, okay, so here's what you do. If someone's too hurt to continue, you just apologize profusely and, leave town immediately. No, I'm just kidding. What would you do, Anderson, if you accidentally hurt someone during sex? What would you do?
I'd hurry up and finish, and then I'd take him to the hospital.
You'd be like, let me finish. No,
you just stop whatever.
You're like, babe, I'm about to come.
What
Can
do
we
you
just wait? Like, here's an Advil.
No, whatever you need to do.
Right.
You
that's
just
true.
stop.
So Madison, my lovely Madison who works with me, she had an experience. She was hooking up in the front seat of a car and accidentally kicked a guy's windshield wiper stick clean off his steering wheel during oral. Whoops.
Must have been good.
Yeah.
It just like flew off, like it broke off,
Yeah,
snapped
hooking up
off.
in the front seat of the car, she kicked a guy's windshield wiper stick clean up. Wow. Yeah.
Wait, but Madison, she's sitting behind me. Did
Madison, can she come talk on the mic there
yeah,
to
we
you?
got some questions for you.
Yeah, Madison, I can't read. That's not, you need to tell it.
To be fair, it wasn't that it was that good. It was that when guy doesn't know what he's doing and all he's doing is just like pawing around at nerves, every once in a while he'll hit one and you kick like a horse because it kind of like tickles a little bit.
Right.
Have you ever had that like jerky reaction to
No.
oral sex before?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I have. Totally.
And so that's kind of what happened. I like hadn't really had oral before like that often, and we were in the front seat of his truck, and I just kicked and I hit the windshield wiper stick thing, and it just like flew off, and it was only held there by a wire. And what's worst is we remained friends, and so years later, or months later, I was in the car with him and a new girl he was dating, and it was raining, and he went to go turn the windshield wiper and had to like play with the wire
Because he still didn't get it fixed?
And she was like, oh my God, what happened? Like, how did that happen? And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, one day it just started raining out of nowhere, and I went to go turn it on and it broke. And she was like, yeah, I hate when that happens.
Oh
and I'm
my
just sitting
God.
there
But
like,
how
oh
funny
God.
that you were there for that. That's crazy. That's a good story.
And did he stop though? Like when you kicked it off initially, when he was down, did he stop and go, "Oh man, what'd you do to my car or truck? What the hell?"
He but I wasn't having a good time, so I was just kind of like, oh, and I'm so sorry, oh, I'm so embarrassed, like, let me pay for it, and you wouldn't let me pay for it, and then the hooking up stopped, and I was okay with it.
I picture Madison saying, "No," and then he's like, "No, it's okay, don't worry about it." But she wants out, so she keeps kicking like other things off of his car.
Right, exactly.
His rearview mirror goes next, kicks out the
You
the front
offered to
windshield.
pay. What if he was like, you know what, I'll get back to you, and he sent you an invoice the next day? It's $22.
I could see that.
Douchebag. You never date him again. That is a funny story. Okay, so I'm trying to think sex injuries. Mine is just, I mean, I've had some injuries, but nothing too bad.
The dry anal rape.
What's the dry anal?
Right? That was kind of an injury.
It was so split second that I'm not even sure it was anal rape. Like, I'm pretty sure it was, but it was like in and out. And I never really even had anal sex before, so it was, yeah, it was good times. The other thing I was going to tell you about injuries, okay, that's all. Hygiene issues. Here's another one. These are big. These are hygiene issues is the number one killer of people's sex drive. So if you didn't shave, and you really should have shaved, I think that women think about that a lot. Like, oh, damn, or like you're wearing bad underwear, like, you know, or like you're not so fresh. And you're like, oh, I should have done something.
Down under.
What? You don't worry about that?
Down under.
Down under. Oh, Down Under Comfort. I actually make a product called Down Under Comfort.
And it's a guard against it, so you don't have
It's
to
a
worry
guard,
about it.
yeah, so
knock
like-
that off your list of things
Like,
to
you might wake up in
concern
the morning
yourself.
as a dude, and you don't even know that you're about to get a blowjob that night. Like, you don't even know what portends for your future. And if you use it in the morning, it's like I use talcum powder, which is super messy. It's a light, fresh scent, and you don't sweat. And it's for women, too, under the breast, Down Under Comfort. EmilyandTony.com. Use code Emily. 20% off.
Now, you're going to Mexico,
I wouldn't even
right?
need it. I am
You
going
leave
to
tomorrow
Mexico.
morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone in that country needs the down under, especially where you're going, the part where you're going.
Yeah.
Cabo, because it's just so humid. Like, I brought my down under when I went there.
You
Went
did?
to Cabo a few months ago, and the down under came in nice and handy. when I
Doesn't
was
it?
there.
And when you go to the gym, oh, really? You're right. I should bring it. I have to
Very
pack it.
humid, yeah. Very humid down there.
Okay, it is
Wasn't
humid.
suggesting all Mexicans need because they're not fresh.
Do you think I should
I was
hand it
talking
out
about the
to them?
climate.
Do you think I
would
should be like, hey,
like to
hola?
Be clear.
Yeah.
Hola, senores. I have something for your balls, for your huevos.
I'm just going to bring little samples. No, it is true. And also, when I was in New York, I'd never really, like, I've used it. I just use it every day. But I was dripping sweat this summer because we don't have the humidity here as much. But anyway, what else? This was not I was not trying to bring that. But so always shower. I
I just thought of something. You hate the word moist so much that you actually developed a product to, like, knock it out. So people don't have to talk about their moist areas
I don't
anymore
want to hear
because
about
they're no
your
longer
moist
moist.
balls ever again. So just use that. No, and no girl wants to go near your moist balls either.
It's true.
Your moist vagina, on the other hand.
Wow.
What? I hate those two
Both words back to back. You know what? Together they
Those
almost
are my
sound okay.
two
though.
least favorite words, and I just use them in a row. I'm really sorry. Okay, so just go to shower and prep beforehand. Anytime there's a slight chance, like a slight that maybe we'll have sex, just go to the bathroom. Use a little soap, wipe up. Everyone's got like a towel in their bathroom. Just people don't do that as much as they should. Don't make a big deal of it. If it's really bad, you can also like you feel like, oh my god, I didn't clean up. Just excuse yourself and go to the bathroom. But like, have you been with a woman and she didn't shave and you freaked out?
No.
I know we were talking about the bush here last week.
Well, I don't appreciate having to navigate my way towards the hole
Right.
area.
Who was telling the story here last week about showing up with pubic hair in their teeth after giving oral sex to someone? Was it Mike? No. Someone.
Yeah,
They
who
were-
was that? And they
I don't
smiled. I think
They
it might have been on Loveline, maybe.
Oh, I don't know. I can't. I get Love Line
Yeah,
mixed
it's all
with my
kind of
real
blends
world.
together. But yeah, I think like he smiled and he had a big pubic hair in between
Yeah.
his teeth. A collar.
That's so funny. Oh yeah, that was during our open forum. Okay, another one is.
There was a great. Speaking, we were talking about Seinfeld earlier. There's a
Yeah,
great
no, so
episode
much
of
Seinfeld.
Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David, and he gets pubic hair stuck back in his throat.
I remember that. He's
And it
like,
was stuck for like a week or two.
and he keeps going to lunch. And he's like, right.
Yeah, he kept clearing his throat. He was telling everyone, they're like, "What's wrong, Larry? You got a cold?" No, it's a pubic hair stuck back there.
So awesome. Okay, another moment that could be scary for women is when you pull out your sex toy for the first time. That could be scary. You don't know how a guy is going to react. And I don't often suggest like it's, again, the first date. But if your partner is a sex toy virgin, like I wouldn't just pull out the sex swing like that day. Take it down.
Ease them in again.
I
Ease
always
them in.
take down my sex swing before my first date.
You don't actually disassemble it. You just make sure it's
No,
up
I
on the
just,
rafters.
yeah, exactly. And then I can just actually have this remote control sex swing.
What about this? What about if she actually...
I really
just-
don't have one.
You might.
In my garage, I've never used
Keep
it.
the illusion. What if she actually just inserted it beforehand, knowing that she could have sex later, and then that's how we find it? Like, he just goes in and there's, like, something already in there.
No, you
No?
wouldn't.
Not
The
good?
only sex toy that you do that with it would be the We Vibe that's meant to be worn during sex. But if there was already like something like this, okay, if we are on Ustream right now, I brought in the rabbit just to show everyone, just for fun. Check this puppy out. It has like, anyway, if this was inside her, you see these pearls? You can't fit your penis in there. I mean, maybe you could, but it would you'd notice.
No. I'm saying that she should already have it inside.
No, but if she already has inside
And then,
her,
yeah, when he tries to go, he's like, hey, what's this? Roadblock.
and then you're cock blocked by a cock.
And then she's like, oh, yeah, I just
thing.
wanted to know that I like to use toys, too. Let's
Right,
incorporate.
yeah, yes. No, I wouldn't say that. I say subtle. I say you start out with something very, very subtle because a lot of women, in fact, most, require more clitoral stimulation than intercourse or a man's penis can provide. Sometimes you can rub it a certain way, but a lot of women, they just need it. And so look at this cool thing I brought in. This is cool. You know, I talk about the girls Vibratex. Look at this. You can, and it's like for your,
Wait, hold it up to the mic. I can't hear it. What does that do?
It goes on your.
It looks like
clitoris.
an alien's phone.
I know, but look, there's this one too. It's called the Girls by Vibratex. You can get them at Good Vibes. Go to my website, click on Good Vibes. Look at this. They're called the Girls. They come in a pink leather thing, but you can just okay. How intimidating is this? Because guys think vibrator.
That looks like a fat tongue.
When guys think of vibrators, they think of this big.
Giant black dong.
The one that I gave Mike, this is what they think of. But this is a pink friggin' thing that goes on. You won't even notice if it's in my hand and I'm touching my clitoris. And your penis is inside me, for example, and your orgasm is like 10 times stronger. So everyone just needs to friggin' relax about sex toys. But also, like, there's also I brought the Mimi because I always talk about the Mimi. I told you. Like,
It's a river stone.
Yeah, it's like you take a little stone. But it's the most powerful vibrator. I love it.
This is my first time ever seeing a Mimi.
I know. I can't turn it on right now.
They're kind of cool. I could skip that across a lake bed pretty good.
Too. But like, would you even? Okay, so if we start having sex, let's say you put your penis in my vagina,
just hypothetical for the sake of
speaking.
yes.
And I was like, oh, baby,
it slips out and goes in your butt.
But then this goes over my you know.
Yeah, it's right there. Perfect.
And you can't even hear it. It's not loud. So what else? Don't forget.
But that'd be kind of weird though. Like, let the guy know because if I'm having sex with a girl and I look down and all of a sudden there's a river rock on top of a vagina.
I would always bring it up first. I'm not saying that you just grab it. But you kind of say, "Hey, I've got a toy. Like, how do you feel about toys?" Or I'm going to show you can I show you my toy? It's really cool. Whatever. I mean, most people that I've been with, I guess I haven't had this. But Madison wrote a great blog about it on my website. She was kind of breaking her sex toy cherry with her boyfriend, and it's very funny about how he discovered it. A lot of women have these experiences about guys like discovering their vibrators, like it's something horrible. But it's not. So you can talk beforehand. Just don't bust it out or you might make him feel threatened because the thing is, it's not even that they think that it looks like this big black penis extender.
That's like a dildo, right? It's different.
No, this is actually...
Vibrators, dildo. Well, that's technically not.
This is a penis extender for Mike that I gave him. But really, I'm putting it in my head. This is what they think. But men often also think that if you use a vibrator, they're not pleasing you, that they're doing something wrong. That's how they feel about lube,
Well, those
too.
are insecure guys that you shouldn't probably date anyways.
I do not date them. I actually don't. So, you want to make him feel like he's doing a good job. So, anyway, that's what we have time for. So, this was just our super scary Halloween episode, scary, sexy things that can happen to everyone. And thank you, Anderson. Everyone check out his hilarious podcast, After Disaster, and The Film Vault.
Thank you, Shiga.
And thanks, everyone, for listening. Follow me. Do it. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. And we'll talk. So thanks for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Hey, everyone. You know I love some sex toys. And as I was talking about, if you go to sexwithemily.com, you can find my favorite toys. You just click on the Good Vibes banner, and I've actually got a store there. And you click on it, and they carry all the best brands. You can get the Vibratex Girls, which they're great for your hand, holding for your clitoris. The Dahlia, great G-spot stimulator. And even the strongest, most orgasmic vibrator of all times, the Magic Wand. So go to my site, sexwithemily.com, click on the Good Vibes banner, and you'll see my favorite toys. Plus, coupon code GVEmily20 gets you 20% off. Hey guys, TrueCar is changing car buying forever. TrueCar helps car buyers get rid of the fear that they might overpay. Just in the first 6 months of this year, over 275,000 cars were sold by the TrueCar Certified Dealer Network. And TrueCar users save an average of $3,221 off MSRP. When does that happen? When you're ready to buy a car, just follow these 3 easy steps. First, go to TrueCar.com to find out what others paid for the car you want. Then, register to see upfront pricing information and lock in your savings. Third step, simple. Just print out your savings certificate and take it to the TrueCar Certified Dealer for a better, hassle-free car buying experience. Some features are not available in all states. To see how much you can save on the car you want, simply download the TrueCar mobile app or visit TrueCar.com today. That's TrueCar.com.